really do need to expand our ideas of what productivity means and what productivity means for our community. It doesn't just mean working for someone else. It can also mean starting your own business. It can also mean learning your own skill. And it can mean creating something out of nothing. And the more that we help our children understand that, I think the more engaged our kids can be in our future economies. So thank you for saying that, because it is so critical that we engage our young people in that way. You know, what I'm learning and what I'm seeing is that just like there are never enough lawyers, plug for my profession, there are never enough barbers, cosmetologists, and people who provide those vital services, not only so we feel good and look good, but so that we have a moment of human connection where in an unlikely place. So I really appreciate you saying that.
Yes, and we're needed from birth to death. You can't go down without us.
That's right, Kurt. That's right.
So,
can I just
first of
add
all,
something? Can I
yes,
add
go right ahead, Alan. Go ahead.
because I have kind of like a national perspective, and I could not agree more. Our industry needs new stylists and new barbers. The job potential is unlimited when things get back together again. There's several initiatives nationally that we're involved with to drive people into our industry. And if we can give a child hope for a profession, a career when they're a junior or senior in high school, when not every kid needs to go to a four-year university or can afford to go to a four-year university. Our industry provides more opportunity for a profession and a successful career with a high school diploma. And I know top stylists that make a lot of money and become very successful business owners, like some on this panel today, right? And so as leaders, if you can get that message, if you can get cosmetology programs in your high schools, if you can reduce the regulations that it takes to become a licensed cosmetologist, and also it speaks to the point of the importance of being licensed. There was a lot of discussion about deregulating our industry. What we're experiencing now, and the professionals that are on this panel now, point more than ever the importance of keeping our industry licensed as well. But I applaud and support getting this industry into the high schools. So thank you for whoever made that. And I challenge the senators and the legislators that are on this call today to get that going, because our industry will support them. It'll give them hope and vision and a future.
Thank you, Alan, for that call for leadership. And you know, as we start winding down our conversation, I want you to think about some parting thoughts from each of you. But I want to offer this. This industry is also generous and philanthropic. And what I mean by that, I remember when I first moved to working in the city of Hartford, when I first moved to Connecticut, for all the years that I've been here now, every summer, there's been a young man who comes to one of our parks right in the middle of Hartford every summer, once a week, and cuts the hair of people who are homeless or disadvantaged for free. So when we talk about that service of once a week feeling like you are a human being, once a week feeling like you are connected, like you have a community, like you have somewhere to go and something to do, and you are re-engaged in the fabric of what we are and who we are, that was a barber that did that. So when I see this industry, just like so many of our small businesses in Connecticut, not only are you rooted in community, but you are community. Robin, I see you raise your hand.
Oh my God, I'm skinning and grinning. I think Kay is skinning and grinning too, because every single year, that is something that Coraine Holness and her partners have done on the New Haven Green. And I have gone and volunteered, you know, just been there in support, because I don't do hair and I don't cut hair. And just to chronicle it and to, you know, let the community know these are the ways that you show up and you show you care. I mean, I don't go to the salon to get my hair done anymore. I go to the barber shop. But guess what? I miss the salon because we go to Kay's to just have a girls' night just hang out. We might watch a movie. We might talk for 2, 3. I can never walk in there. I say, I'm gonna just run in and say hi. And it's been 3 hours and I'm looking at her like, hey, I gotta go. And next thing I know, it's 11, 12 o'clock at night. It's a safe space. And not just that, we talk about the young people. Let's talk about the young people who safe spaces. These are also safe spaces for them. They don't have this place to go to right now. We had somebody talk about Chris, I believe it was, that talked about the haircut with the son and what that's like and that experience and making those kind of memories. This is a time when we need to be able to support one another, and especially the young people that don't have the mental capacity to process this COVID and how it's impacting our lives right now. So I had to say that because we do that every year here in New Haven, and I can't tell you the number of, and Kay can speak to the numbers, I'm sure, but the homeless people, what it does for them. I mean, when they sit down and their beard is down to here and their hair is out to here, and it doesn't matter what white, black, Latino, everybody comes. And when they get up out their chair, you don't have to ask them how they feel. You can see how they feel.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I
Thank
have
you. Any other parting thoughts from our panelists and friends?
I
Francine?
have one. Alan, I would like to thank you for being here actually on this panel. It means a lot to see a representation from Barberside and this who you are Barberside. But my challenge has always been, again, this is why I started the cosmetologists and barber health equity ambassadors, is because I am challenging stylists, barbers, anyone in this beauty industry to think a little bit more globally, to think of your profession a little bit differently. Each one of them, they have different skill sets. I'm sure there have been several stylists and barbers. Some are great colorists, and they can do it without instructions. They just know how to do the chemistry of it. You have some who are interested in sanitation. You listen to Jay, who's all about ensuring financial support. So we have to actually encourage our salons, our barbershops, our nail techs to think a little bit more globally. And actually, I encourage the young lady that works for me right now. My whole thing was, when you come to work for me, you actually have to go to school. So I want my stylists and barbers to think a little bit differently and educate themselves so they could actually own a company that could be on this call to support them as well. So they can become stylists. Chemists. They can become the attorneys to look and be able to relate to their own barbers and stylists. Say, hey, I've been in your shoes, but now I'm an attorney. So I can look at it on this side and I can relate to you on this side. So we have to encourage them to become think a little bit more globally, and just that challenge of educating themselves wherever that specialty is. And even if they don't want to get a 4-year degree, maybe there might be a class you may want to take. I mean, you offer training for Barberside, but there's also so many different opportunities that are available for stylists and barbers. And so we really have to just kind of, I feel, gently nudge them to understand their full potential and their worth within their community and their value. So I'm all about the education notion.
Thank you, Francine.
Yeah.
Representative Chris Rosario.
Well, Steve, I just want to thank everybody for putting this together. And I just want to mention globally the what's riding on the line here. And in many cases, barbershops, stylists, salons, you guys are going to set the example. You guys are the first one out the chute. You are going to show the rest of the industry when they want to open up gyms, stores, whatever the case may be. You guys are going to lead the example of how to safely and responsibly open up the economy. And we're going to be thankful for you because you guys are going to do it.
Alex, any parting words, Alex or Blaze? Johnny. Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to send a special thank you to Ms. Denise Drummond and Mr. Alphonse Wright for inviting me in on this call. It's been super informative, and most of everything we discussed, is stuff that we learned in school. So hopefully we can, God willing, get this thing rolling and set the precedence for everyone else to get the entire economy booming again.
Thank you, Johnny. Alex.
I want to thank Chris Rosario for inviting me to this. All my barbers and stylists. Can you hear me? Or no?
Yes, we can.
All the barbers and the stylists, they're all on listening and watching and texting me. Happy we're putting this together and they're getting all the information they need. So I'm thankful for you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Robin, I know you have some words as well.
Thank you, Steve. I mean, I'm just going to echo much of what's been said. First and foremost, thank you, not just for today, but for the work that you've been doing for the 6 years that I've been a witness to. You have been you've been like the glue that helps hold us together, especially when we talk about Black and Brown issues, partnering with the BPRC. You have been pivotal in a lot of legislation that we have been able to get done. And I just want to salute you and publicly thank you and put you on a pedestal today. And I also want to join in thanking Alan on being on this call, because I think it's a really strong message about who he is, what he stands for, and what role he is willing to play in making sure that this goes our way. Small businesses are the economic drivers in our state, and we must make sure that we take care of them in the same ways that they have always taken care of us, especially barbers and cosmetologists, because somebody said it earlier. This is ancestral for us. This is what we've been rooted and grounded in. My grandmother was a domestic worker and a beautician. I grew up getting my hair done in the kitchen. That's how she made her money. I mean, we don't do that now, but back then it was acceptable because that's how we all got started with our own business. So just thank you all. Thank you. I mean, Francine, Alex, Blaze, Jay, who I'm not trying to forget nobody, my colleagues.
I know.
This has been very informative. My son has actually been listening in the background, and he was like, wow, that was, because he's a financial advisor. So he's like, wow, you guys are hitting on some good stuff. So just a huge salute to everybody here today and to all those that took the time to be with us and watch what was being presented. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alan Tan, I know you wanted to give us.
Yeah, if you could look at my hair, I'm in dire need of a haircut too. But but anyways, I did want to make a few comments. I apologize for needing to be late. I had another event that I had to be at. But it's very important during these times to remember that first of all, I hope that many of the barbershops and cosmetology places were able to participate in the PPP if they were eligible, the federal program, because it's very important that the small businesses get the resources they need to continue to survive. The other piece that I just wanted to know that wasn't really, maybe it was discussed before I joined, but is that when we plan for future pandemics, because this probably will not be the last time we face this, we definitely want to make sure that the needs of each industry is addressed, especially since I know that in this case, this was so last minute and everything had to shut down and everything, but going forward, together as a community, we can certainly develop ways to find ways to enable businesses to continue to operate in pandemic situations. And that's an emergency preparedness move that I hope the industry and the legislature can partner with each other to develop ways that can be sustainable and allow business to operate in a safe manner so that we don't have to go through a statewide shutdown again. And that's my hope.
Thank you, Alan. And as we come to a close, I know that we have things to look forward to. Most immediately, we have, I know that the governor will be announcing later this afternoon the guidelines for barbering and cosmetology. Yep. I know that it is the beginning of a conversation that will continue in the next couple of weeks up until opening, and that will continue beyond. So I'm excited that you're at the table, and I hope that you will continue to be at the table more robustly as these conversations move forward. I want to thank all of you on this Brady Bunch panel, as I like to call it, for your leadership. Whether it is the state leaders who were elected, the selected officials who were appointed to do what they do, or the leaders who get up every single day as entrepreneurs and hustle on behalf of their families, on behalf of themselves, on behalf of their communities. I really want to thank you most of all, because, you know, this is being broadcast on CTN, and thank you, CTN, for that. You know, the children across the state of Connecticut, people across the state of Connecticut are watching this, and they are seeing that the future is not only in small business, but the future is in the people who are on this panel. Our communities of color, our historically underrepresented communities, our historically chronically poor communities, our communities that have been disconnected. So to all of you and to the state of Connecticut, thank you so much for participating in this conversation. Next stop on Small Business Matters, we're going to be talking to and about the restaurant industry, another industry that is very much occupied by our people, and how it is that we can creatively think about reformatting and re-energizing that industry so that it can come back robustly, not only for the people who run it, but the people who work in it and people who want to have a future in it. So again, thank you so much, and we'll be back together soon.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.